Well, the Sixers-Knicks game was, I mean, first off, there's just plays that just had to be made that weren't made by Philly. We can go into the refs. We can go into, the coach call a timeout or not. Nick Nurse said he called a timeout. It looked like he tried for half a second.
The old pump fake timeout?
And then he pulled it back.
Right.
And then by the time he started calling it again, it was a loose ball. So the refs were actually correct in that matter. I know Nick doesn't want to hear that. Obviously, it's tough to lose like that. But that whole play was a 50-50 play. And the Knicks win that more than 50-50 of the time.
Yeah.
They always get them. They're like 80-20s for the Knicks. It just a rebound. Hartenstein barrels in. It's on the floor. Hart's grabbing it, or OG grabs it. They trap him in the corner. They smack the ball out of his hands. Kyle Lowry throws it directly to his chest for whatever reason. And it was just, bro, they're up 5 with 25 seconds left. Hold it down. It's your game.
Yeah.
The game was lost. And then Brunson hits his ridiculous 3 that bounces in. Brunson's been horrendous, by the way. And I'm a big Jaylen Brunson fan, but he has not played well.
And they're 2-0. So what does that tell you?
That's dangerous. He hasn't even got going yet. And I say got going, I mean have it like a rhythm to his scoring. Right now, he is a high volume. He shot the ball 29 times last night to score 24 points. Yeah. It's really nasty work. It's not efficient by any means. Philly has guarded him extremely well. Instead of always talking about Brunson not getting going, let's talk about who's guarding him. You know what I mean? Like, Philly has guys that are really stepping up and playing.
You think somewhere Becky Hammond's like, I told you so? Or
well, yeah, I think people Becky has a point to where, listen, first off, he's a 1A guy. Let's just be for real. You don't lead a team to the playoffs and be a star of the city like New York.
We're talking about a guy that might be first team All-NBA. He's
a 1A guy to Becky's comments. But to the other side of Becky's comments, she's like, okay, fair. But when I think of 1A, I'm thinking of Kawhi and Giannis and LeBron and I don't know who else. Kevin, Steph. They're usually just a little bit bigger guys. Obviously, Steph's not that big, but Steph's at least 6'3".
Yeah.
Jaylen struggled. He's been struggling to get good shots off. To her point, it hasn't looked pretty. But his team has won. They're 2-0, and we'll see if he gets better.
What do you make out of Josh Hart's performance playing last night he had 21-15, plays the entire game.
Yeah.
So far it's been very Caleb Martin last year for the Heat of just stepping up and playing your best basketball at the right time.
Well, he's getting paid to do so.
Yeah. The difference between him and Caleb Martin last year.
He's getting paid to do so. That's always been the giant difference. Josh has always been handsomely rewarded. He's always been making 70, 80. He always he's getting paid to do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He gets paid to be a hustle guy. He doesn't have skill. In terms of
his deal is in the same vein as a Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, his skill is Dylan's more of a skilled scorer than him. But
really?
Yeah, than Josh Hart?
I feel like they're both.
No. Dylan's a better scorer than Josh Hart. Josh Hart's just a better I don't want to say player, but he does a lot of those things, man. He's a better rebounder for sure. Josh Hart's one of the best rebounding forwards in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's just it is what
pound
it
for
is.
pound.
Oh, it'd be hard to put up any guy against him rebounding. That's what he gets paid to do. He gets paid to go in there and get 10 rebounds. He gets paid to go in there and get 3 steals. He gets paid to go dive on the floor. He gets paid to make the extra pass. He gets paid to run the floor all the time, play hustle. He gets paid also, man, to play 48 minutes, not complain, and just go out there and play.
If you made a guy in a factory for
Coach
Tibbs.
that's Thibodeau's wet dream right there. But yeah, that's he gets paid to do those things, and he does it.
Yeah.
He's worth every penny that he does get paid. In terms of him making shots and this 21 points, a lot of those are cutting the lanes and just hustling. And then the best case scenario is you got Josh hitting threes because he's not a good shooter. He's not a bad shooter either.
Yeah.
He's not a bad shooter by any means, but he's not a good shooter. And he's not a highly skilled offensive player. But he's skilled in areas that aren't traditional. Hustle, having a knack for, getting rebounds. These are skills. They're just not traditional skills. So, he's not I should rephrase that. He's not a traditional skilled guy. He's kind of like this unorthodox, whatever.
I think the 90s had a lot of guys like him.
I mean, you see a lot of that right now,
Yeah.
But you got to give Josh credit. You pay that guy, he plays just about every game. Through injuries, you don't think he's been sore? You don't think he's been hurting some games?
Right.
He plays all the time. He plays hard and he plays the right way. You got guys like Jared Vanderbilt who got paid to get hustled. This guy, every time I see him, dog, he's just on the bench with his little outfit on, and I'm just like, brother, what is going on? Why is he hurt? Because what's going on with him?
I at this point I don't even remember. It's been a long time.
That's what I'm saying. But it wasn't anything serious. Like he didn't have like a career-ending injury, like a season-ending. He's been out the whole damn year.
Yeah.
And then like Gabe Vincent is back now, and then he's not even playing. He's barely playing.
Yeah, we'll get into that game later, but we got to like D'Lo's. I mean,
I know,
playing
man.
every bit of. He's D'Lo played a perfect game. Man, I don't even want to talk about that game right now. Obviously, we want to focus on the Knicks Sixers, but you're not going to get a better performance out of D'Lo and Anthony Davis.
Well, we could round up the Sixers conversation. I mean, listen, Knicks are the better team. They have, I think their guards and wings have just outplayed everybody in their team, with the exception of Maxey. Maxey's outplayed Jaylen Brunson in both games. Factual. Tyrese Maxey has been the best guard in this series. He's played better than Jaylen Brunson. With that being said, Jaylen Brunson's had teammates step up and play very, very well. They hustle, they play hard, they grind it out, and they just have won the grit game versus them. That play last night where the ball's bobbling all over the floor, they get the steal, goes here, gets the offense, that exemplifies why the Knicks are going to beat the Sixers in like 5 or 6 games. Because the Philly's going to go home and win one, maybe even 2. It's going to be a series. I do believe Joel Embiid. I don't believe they're winning.
But do you like when your best player, your MVP candidate, Joel Embiid, is like saying stuff like that? Obviously, get your team going.
Well, that one hurt. It's supposed to be 1-1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's supposed to be 1-1.
He said it was supposed to be 2-0.
Sure, but we'll go with 1-1.
Yeah.
Last night they were up 5 with 20-something seconds left. It's their game to win.
Yeah.
That's just a shit show. There was so much going on wrong with those last couple of minutes. There was even a play where they were up like 5 or 6, and like Tyrese Maxey's on a break. It's 1-on-3. And he like tries to take him on and gets fouled. It goes off his knee and goes out of bounds. And you can see Batum just like, yo, we got to slow down, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're up like 7 with 2 minutes left. Like, let's slow down, throw it to the big fella. You know what I mean? Like, it just, there's plays that just unraveled last night. And then even the play he drove on Hartenstein. He's going so fast. Like, even if Hartenstein didn't block that shit wasn't going in anyway. Like, It would have came off the backboard too fast. He was going 100 miles per hour to the rim. Like, that's one of those like where you feel Hartenstein, a big moving that fast, they cannot stop on a dime. That's where you go and you hit him with one of those fakes that, like, you know, like those little, bro, he's gone in the air.
Yeah.
You turn, you got a flip shot. Like, it's just like, you got to sometimes just take your time. That arc of Maxey we haven't seen yet. You've seen him have a lot of playoff success, but now you are like the bona fide second best player. Last year it was James and Joel. You got to kind of be the mixing guy. So, like, they do need Tyrese to continue to play well because he's played fantastic. Maxey's played fantastic. But down the stretch, we're going to need him to really come into his own and, like, just breathe a little bit. He's going a little too fast from what I saw. But
and some help from Tobias Harris, 10 points, Kelly Oubre, 4 points.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up because that's where his growth needs to come in, Maxey. And it is. This is experience that he's getting as the second best player. I guarantee he's going to be better game 3, game 4. The kid's a stud. I'm a big fan of Maxey and his work ethic. As for his teammates, my God, man, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where we've seen Kelly Oubre be a huge punch for them this year. He's vastly underpaid. He's on a vet minimum contract. So you could argue he played his weight last night. He had, 4 points?
Right. You can't even get super mad at him when all year he's been overexceeding.
Yeah, the whole entire year, Kelly Oubre has overexceeded every dollar amount times 10.
You are getting the opposite effect from Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris is, and I love TB, man. He's a great guy, but he is vastly, I don't even want to say it. I don't like getting into the money thing.
Right.
But it's just it just happens year after year after year. We get to the playoffs and, like, he's just very mediocre. And his contract screams star. So that's what it is. Tobias is a good player, but he's got to figure out a way to play and affect the game without him just calling for the ball and getting his touches. Like, it can't just be that, bro.
Yeah.
Go defend. Go get rebounds. Like, I can't even remember him last night in those plays. Like, do something. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. Traditionally, on championship level teams, the third best player, they're not these ISO guys, right? They're the guys that do a little bit of everything, right? the Draymond or the, just anybody. Like anytime you look at a team and their third best player is usually making other people better, scoring without the ball. Like a Franz Wagner for the Magic is like a good example of a guy. When the Magic are a championship level team, he'll be a great third best player on the team probably because he can do other things. Tobias Harris is kind of just the ISO guy.
Yeah, like Franz will get in passing lanes to get steals and do this or do that. Like, bro, Tobias is 6'9". Like, you'll get 12. Why has Josh Hart got 20 rebounds, man, or 15 rebounds? Why? How many rebounds he had last night?
15.
No, I'm talking about Tobias Harris. Like, I don't know. Like, bro, why don't you go grab 13 rebounds and get 3 steals? Okay, you're not getting the ball as much. Move it out the ball. Get some spot shots. And again, I'm making it easier. Maybe he's not getting the ball as much. But it's like, bro.
It's something we always talk about. If you're not one of the best 2 guys, your job on the floor is to make those 2 guys
the
life
best
easier.
And like just affect the game, man. There's 2 sides to the ball. People forget. It's a 50-50 game. It's offense and defense. You can affect the game in so many ways. And we just went on a 5-minute segment about Josh Hart. He doesn't get paid 70, 80, whatever he gets paid to go out there and score 20 points. He just did that. So he's doing things outside his role. So Tobias Harris, who's paid to score, needs to do things outside his role.
Right.
They don't pay Josh Hart to score 20. He just goes and does that by playing so fucking hard. They don't pay Tobias Harris to be the ultimate rebounder defender. You just got to go do that because it's playoff time and you got to play your ass off and play hard and realize, I'm not getting a lot of shots right now. I'm not affecting them with my scoring. What else can I do? Because right now he's underachieving, bro.